Members, we do have a few things to go through just before we do officially start the meeting, so I'd like to just take this opportunity to provide a few words on behalf of the Sioux Falls School District leadership team. So on behalf of the Sioux Falls School District leadership team, we would like to express our gratitude to School Board President Carly Ryder and her deep commitment and years of service to the Sioux Falls School District. Carly was a lifelong learner within the Sioux Falls School District, attending Oscar Howe, Edison, and Roosevelt High School. Carly then went on to achieve a bachelor's degree in nursing from South Dakota State University and has held a successful career as a clinical informatics specialist at one of our local hospitals. Carly has leveraged her experience as a prior district student along with her advanced education and her business skills to become an invested partner in our Sioux Falls School District leadership team. Students, staff, families, and community stakeholders have appreciated her leadership throughout her years. In addition, Carly has always maintained a sense of wonder and curiosity about district programming, which have led to her strong and collaborative efforts to develop and implement creative opportunities for students within the Sioux Falls School District. Furthermore, Carly has demonstrated the keen ability to make sound decisions while taking into consideration all parties that have been involved in each of the processes. She is an open communicator and supportive of the district leadership team in its endeavors to help all students find individualized success. Under her leadership, the district has also seen several schools open, including Susan B. Anthony, Sonia Sotomayor, Ben Rifle, George McGovern, and Jefferson. In addition, Carly was a key member in efforts to pass a $190 million bond that provided equitable access for all students in our schools. Carly embraces the understanding that each student brings a special uniqueness to our district, and she has worked tirelessly to embrace and support programming that equips all students with equitable opportunities that will prepare them for their futures. Carly, again, as you leave your position as the Sioux Falls School District Board President, I, along with our district leadership team, thank you for your 12 years of dedicated service, your wisdom and commitment and passion for moving our district to be the best in the state of South Dakota, and arguably one of the very best in our nation. Your work has been highly valued. As a community member within our city, we hope that you will continue to extend your passion and advocacy to our district, and we wish you the very best in your continued career and future undertakings. We do at this time have a plaque to present to you as well. On the plaque, I don't know if you wish to say anything.
Well, I have a whole thing prepared.
But we'll wait until the board starts.
Yes.
There we go. So we do appreciate on the plaque, it does say Carly Ryder, presented to for outstanding leadership and support of educational excellence from 2013 to 2025. So thank you for your dedication to our district. One of those on a night is more than enough, but we do have a second one before we officially start the board meeting. Dr. Staben, on behalf of our entire district, the district leadership team, and our school board, we extend our deep gratitude to your commitment to excellence that you have demonstrated daily during your 4 years of service, 5 years of service, I'm sorry, your years of service. It didn't say a number. I added that somehow. To your years of service in the Sioux Falls School District. In joining our district in 2020, you brought with you an expansive set of skills that you developed through diverse positions that you held, such as a classroom teacher, director of curriculum and instruction, assistant superintendent, and superintendent. You also worked in both large and small districts in a variety of states, with these experiences being ones that could be tapped into to gain fresh perspectives on a variety of important endeavors within the Sioux Falls School District. When you started with the district, it was an incredibly different time in the landscape of America. It was a season of COVID. You, along with your leadership team, families, students, school board members, and community stakeholders, had to enter into uncharted waters and had to unite together to make safe decisions for our students. We especially thank you for your leadership during this time and the diligent and collaborative decisions you made. Under your leadership, we saw Ben Rifle and Jefferson open, along with many programs being started or enhanced, such as the CTE Large Animal Program, which I know you love, the CLC After School Programming, which has been a great asset to our community and to the kids and families in our community, PBIS and MTSS, and the classroom voice amplification systems, to name a few. You were also instrumental in developing community partnerships such as the Lincoln Commons and the Renberg Project for our Native American families, along with the guitar classes that included a donation from John Bon Jovi himself. You are an open communicator and you maintain active visibility within the schools and community. You can often be seen attending local service clubs and chamber activities. In all your spare time, we can find you often, along with Bruce, attending fine arts and athletic events that feature the talents of the Sioux Falls School District students. There is also no question that you care deeply about the development of programming to meet the unique needs of each student within the Sioux Falls School District. You have worked tirelessly to provide equitable opportunities to help our students maximize their individualized potential to launch them into their futures. Finally, I want to personally say thank you for your mentorship and your leadership. I am honored to not only call you a professional colleague, but a friend. As you step into the next chapter in both your personal and professional lives, we as a district wish you and Bruce and your family the very best. We know that every person you will encounter in your future steps will be as deeply blessed as we have been. Thank you. And we do have a plaque for you as well. And let the meeting begin.
Call the meeting to order. If we could all stand again and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Is there a resolution?
Oh, hey.
I was like,
I was. You say resolution?
I did.
Okay. I'll go. Okay. Dr. Knoll took all my words, so I'm going to read the more formal thing.
Okay.
Okay. Whereas Carly Ryder has served the Sioux Falls School District 49-5 for the past 12 years since July 2013 as a valued board member as its vice president and president. And whereas Ms. Ryder has during these 12 years ably served as board representative to the following committees: Calendar Committee, Southeast Technical Institute Council, Sioux Falls Education Foundation, Safe and Secure School Councils, Insurance Committee, Budget Review Committee, Chamber of Commerce, Teacher of the Year, Talent and Workforce, PATH Committee, and Policy Review Committee, as well as a contributing member to the City, County, Schools meetings, Legislative Liaison, and on the negotiating teams for the board. And whereas Carly provided exceptional leadership for Sioux Falls and the whole state of South Dakota through her tenure as a school board member. Whereas Ms. Ryder provided leadership and significant guidance to the district's long-range financial planning and 5-year budget plan while maintaining a high sense of fiscal responsibility and advocating strong, innovative academic programs. And whereas Carly, during her tenure, was instrumental in providing significant leadership during 3 superintendent transitions that included a national search, interviews, and the ultimate hiring of the best class leaders. And whereas during her tenure on the school board, the school district completed construction of the new field house at Howard Wood Field, Career and Technical Education Academy, RF Pettigrew Elementary School, Susan B. Anthony Elementary School, Sonia Sotomayor Elementary School, George McGovern Middle School, Ben Rifle Middle School, and Thomas Jefferson High School. Additionally, the Vet Tech addition at Ed Wood Center and dental expansion and renovation at the Health Science Center in 2020 at Southeast Technical College, as well as the acquisition of the Zeal Building in 2022 for Southeast Technical College and the start of construction for the new Marcella LeBeau Elementary School. Wait, there's more. And whereas Carly steadfastly serves during the pandemic while taking into consideration the best way to educate students safely and effectively in unprecedented times. Whereas Ms. Ryder encouraged and committed to understanding and valuing diversity, as well as the importance of providing multiple pathways for student success while advocating for children with special needs. And whereas Carly's commitment to excellence in education as enhanced opportunities for countless children, and her commitment to increasing involvement of citizens in the decision-making process regarding educational programs has contributed to the overall improvement of the district's instructional program. And whereas Ms. Ryder has ably served in these capacities at considerable professional sacrifice, with understanding dedication to placing children first in all her decisions, whether considering budgets, boundaries, busings, calendars, curriculum, or policies, and where we as the school board wish to express our deepest appreciation and thanks to Carly on behalf of the members of the school board and the administration and the entire school district. Now therefore it be resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of the meeting of the school board of Sioux Falls School District 49-5 held Monday, June 23rd, 2025, and a copy of the resolution be given to Carly. So if I could ask for a motion and a second to acknowledge this resolution.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion passes. Thank you, Carly.
Thank you. All right, on to the good news report, please.
Good evening. We have two good news reports tonight. First, we will start with talking about a very active program that we've already mentioned here this evening, our community learning centers. And kids are out and about in our community over the summer months doing arts and crafts, field trips, science discovery, just a ton of things. And so to highlight that here tonight, CLC Executive Director Paul Kaiser joins us with some information about what students are up to this summer and how this program is keeping kids across Sioux Falls active and engaged, and the number of kids we're keeping busy. So I will invite Paul to come forward.
Thank you for the opportunity to be part of this good news report. As part of this report, I'm going to highlight our enrollment at our elementary age to start. We just completed our second year of after-school care, and as you will see in blue, the enrollment trend continued to increase. We served about 50 more kids this year, unique kids this year, than we did last year. In orange is our summer care. We are starting with a little over 1,100 kids at the start of this summer, which is up about 100 kids from a year ago. So serving a significant, serving more and more kids, and we can keep growing the elementary age program. Next year, we're on track to start at Marcella LeBeau. We will also be expanding to 7 before school sites. All spots at this point have been filled. When looking at the summer, the enhancements that we're providing the kids and some of the things that we're doing, we continue to grow upon the enhancements as well, and the community partners that are serving the kids. Three new ones to highlight is one, Premier Playhouse is coming in for performing arts. Sewer Skate is teaching some kids how to skateboard, and we also have Atlas Soccer coming in to serve some of our kids for soccer. As you progress to the middle school, we have started to market, and we are enrolling kids in George McGovern, Ben Rifle and also Whittier, and we are on track to start middle school programming in August. Thank you.
Awesome. Can I just comment really quick?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for the update. It's exciting to see the growth of students and the number of people who are participating in a meaningful summer. My daughter, who's sitting in front of you, works at the Hayward CLC and is having a great time with amazing kids. So it really is a fun activities for kids and better than just sitting at home and wondering what to do. So thank you for your work on adding those additional enrichments too.
And for the second part of our good news report this evening, from some of our youngest learners that are in the care of CLC to some young adults who are entering the world of work, Project Search places students from community campus in partnership with Sanford Health to teach young adults about practical life and job skills to succeed after they reach the age of 21. And so Dr. Nikki Whiting has an update on the program and some success stories to share with us about Project Search.
Thank you for having me. I'm sorry, my allergies are really bad, so I will do my best. I love to talk, so you'll have to cut me off because I could talk about this all night. But I'm so excited to share about a good news report about our collaboration with Sanford for our young adults with disabilities. It's truly been a really great opportunity for the school district as well as Sanford. So I'd like to talk a little bit about that. Just a summary of Project Search. So it's really just a transition program for young adults ages 18 to 21. Some of them come right from high school, some of them come from community campus. And it's really an immersed work experience for them to work side by side with individuals that are already employed in the community in a community-based business, to receive coaching, to receive mentorship, just to really be wrapped around and learn those work skills for those young adults that really have great work skills and want to be competitively employed once they leave our programming. Just an overview. COVID was mentioned already once tonight, so I'm going to mention it again. When Project Search first started, it was the 2021 school year, so we were just kind of coming back, and this Project Search started, and we're like, now what do we do? So we really just took the program and spread it out throughout the community. The coordinator for Project Search and our job skills coach, they just really embraced what we were going to do, and they went out all over Sioux Falls and found work experience for our young adults. After that, we partnered with Del Rummel, and that was a great partnership. The goal of Project Search really is to have 8 young adults, and Del Rummel just didn't have the capacity to continue growing those internship rotations. They did a great job supporting kind of that growth and just the starting off of Project Search. But we really needed to look outside of Del Rummel and find a business that was able to build the capacity and really build those internships. And Sanford, our Project Search coordinator, actually goes to church with one of the individuals from Sanford, and they had a conversation at church about how they could work collaboratively. And from there, it just kind of rolled forward. We actually weren't even supposed to be at Project Search at Sanford until the next school, till 25-26. And Project Search, the Sanford staff were just so excited about hearing about it. They actually wanted us to come in sooner. So we started right after Thanksgiving break. We moved from Del Rummel in, and we had 2 final internship rotations at Sanford. And we had great success. We had 3 young adults that were there. Just to kind of give a summary, so they complete 3 10-week rotations that are designed to give them different experiences within that, within the business itself, to receive kind of that professional coaching and that growth and that mentorship, with the goal of being competitively employed with 16 hours or more after they leave Project Search. And I want to highlight, this is really what it's about. The good news is of our young adults that really did amazing things with the support of Project Search, our Sioux Falls School District staff, our Sanford staff that wrapped around all of our young adults, and vocational rehabilitation, that community service provider. So it was really a great partnership amongst all three of us to get this rolling in Sanford. The size of Sanford is big, so finding the internship rotations, although we think it'd be easy, it really wasn't, because we're the really carved out positions for our young adults. So they're job coached and they're mentored along the way. So we just wanted to make sure that it was a right fit. So we started with 3 young adults at Sanford. You can see Wyatt, the rotations that he did, and at the Dakota Food Court, he was an absolute joy. If he was serving you, he'd ask you how your day was. Like, his face lit up, his social skills were just off the charts because of the experience that he got at Sanford. Because there were so many people in that food court, he had many opportunities to practice those social skills. Michael Terry, he did a variety of different rotations, and he absolutely loved it from the time that he went to Del Romo to the time that he went to Sanford. His social skills also opened up. He was also found a great mentor at Sanford that he was able to really build around and gain some mentorship with. So that was really good to see him have that male role model in his life. And then Dominic, he worked in a variety as well that you can see, and he was actually competitively employed through Sanford. They offered him a job in environmental services. So he did such a great job. And the ceremony that we had at Sanford was just really a highlight of all of Sanford staff wrapping around our young adults to provide them the work opportunities that they really need in order to step out into the world after they leave us with those strong work skills, social skills, problem-solving skills, everything that we experience on a day-to-day basis. Sanford, Project Search at Sanford is able to really provide our young adults. So our goal is to have 8 young adults there. That would be maximum capacity. Yep, and then next year we're gonna have 6. So we're doubling next year from 3 to 6. So very exciting. And I think that's it. That's it for me.
Quick question. How do people find out about Project Search?
So the Project Search coordinator, she does what we call a transition tour to all the high schools every single school year. So she goes around and talks to the special ed teachers about how to take data, what information to look for students that would be a good fit for Project Search, because they have to want to work, and they have to have some baseline of skills in order to show that they can work at a competitive rate, because they're working 6-hour shifts at Sanford. And most young adults aren't used to working 6 hours. So they're working 6 hours, 5 days a week. So they have to have the stamina. So there's data, and there's a rubric that we use that the coordinator has created to work with the high school teachers. We also have 4 employment consultants, 1 for each high school. They work collaboratively with the teachers at the high school and with the transition programming to just start that dialogue already, like maybe their sophomore, junior year, of kind of anticipating what young adults would be ready and would be a good fit for the program.
Awesome. Thank you so much. What a great opportunity for those students to, like you said, get in and get those real world experiences and have that success for themselves. So thank you so much for the information. Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, next, can I get a motion and a second for approval of the minutes for the meeting held on June 9th, please?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. We do have some folks, 4 of them, that are wishing to speak to the board, all on the same topic, I believe. So together you have 15 minutes. So however you divide that amongst the 4 of you is fine. So maybe I'll start with Laura.
My name is Laura Rohde, and I live at 840 West 9th Street, and I'm a member of the Cathedral Historic District Leadership Team and also on the Lincoln Commons Steering Committee. And I'm here, and my other neighbors are here, to thank you, Dr. Stavum, for your leadership the cooperative group that is Lincoln Commons Steering Committee is amazing because you helped us enhance a green space in the neighborhood that is beloved by so many people, and it's exciting to see the momentum. I was just talking to Jeff Kreider, and we're going to have sidewalks and basketball court. I mean, there's all good things happening just this summer, and it's because of your leadership and helping bring everyone together. And you're so efficient and kind, and we brought you all these brainstormed ideas, and you said yes, as long as there's funding. You're just phenomenal, and we're going to miss working with you. It's been a joy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for my green tea.
Sean? Sorry, if you wouldn't mind telling us your name and your address.
Sean Rohde. I live at 840 West 9th Street. It's my wife, Laura. We live a block from the green space. I told Laura maybe 2-3 years ago, I said, this might be the most important project that we work on for our neighborhood. But we knew what the challenges were. We knew it was going to be, there's going to be a lot of meetings, and I've been on all the aforementioned meetings as well, or all the committees. And I just want to say that on behalf of the neighborhood, thank you for your help to get to where we are now. The kids are excited, the neighborhood's excited, and I'm happy to be a part of this project and appreciate your partnership with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Tricia Wellman.
Hi, I'm Tricia Wellman. I live at 124 North Grange Avenue. We are directly east of the Lincoln Commons. We've lived there for about 16 years. I'm also part of the steering committee for the Lincoln Commons, used to be green space. I refer it as a green space sometimes. But I just wanted to say that, Dr. Salem, thank you. Our meetings, any ideas that we had, her direction, everything just meshed together. And living where I live, I walk out the door every day and see that. I'm really excited for a front row seat in the next couple of stages, depending on what comes next. And I know the kids in our community and the families in our community really appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
And finally, Greg.
Good evening. Greg Neitzer, parent of a high school student at Roosevelt, 2701 South Kinrook Avenue. First of all, thank you all for your service. I know it's not easy. 12 years is amazing, so great job. I tell planning commission members 10 years sounds more like a life sentence when you got 12, so great job. I want to thank Dr. Stavum, first on just a macro level for your 5 years of leadership, but specifically for your vision and inspiration for the Lincoln Commons project. This started with an idea from a neighborhood about what to do with that land, and I was inspired by their vision and their passion, and so that's why I got involved. And as we all know, the district wasn't ready to release the land. There may be a strategic use for that land in the future. And I did learn that I believe you had an experience in another school district where you had an inner city. You needed land and you couldn't get that land. And so that was one of those lessons learned, and wisdom comes from life experience. And so totally understandable. And so that's where we thought it was going to end. We thought, okay, makes sense. It's disappointing and it's over. You're really, really busy. Chief executive obviously is very, very busy. You could have just moved on, but you didn't do that. You came back and you said, here's a win-win for everyone. And you brought a vision that was really amazing. And that I think is an amazing thing to see from a leader. You don't see that all the time. There's so many big things that are on your plate as a school district, a city. It would have been just so easy to just say we have other things to do, but you didn't do that. You did something that gives citizens a meaningful say in what's the destiny of their neighborhood, and something that's going to benefit all of them. There's a lot of people I know that are working on this project behind the scenes, and there's too many to mention. Jeff Kreider, teachers at Axtell, a whole group of people, and they all need to be thanked. And I think it really needs to be mentioned, Paul and Mary Ellen Connolly, for an amazing donation and an amazing heart. This doesn't happen if they weren't here and they didn't make that donation. You know that there's a lot of things that we can do outside of school days and school hours to benefit children and families. It's not just 8 to 3, and you're leading with things like the childcare. And this is just another way to do that. Something that I've just had a lot of time to reflect on after being in public service and having some time off is one of the things that we have to keep trying to do as elected leaders, as appointed leaders, employees of governmental entities. I think the word is empathy. And it's not that we're not good people and we don't try, but we all come from our own life experience, and we all, we all have our own situation, and trying to put ourselves in the shoes of other people and what their experience is. We can take for granted so often, that if we have stable transportation and stable housing, and we live in neighborhoods that don't have safety concerns, we can take those things for granted, how hard it is, for example, to get a kid to school if you don't have stable transportation, and where you're going to live the next night, because we don't deal with that. So you really have to work on that. And this is something that I think is going to be a big deal for those kids and those families in that neighborhood. There are some that do struggle with transportation and the income issues and such small yards where they don't have places to play. That's really important. Green space is so important in inner city neighborhoods where you just don't have that, and we can take that for granted. And so this is going to be really life-changing, and it's something, again, that you really didn't have to do, but you did it, and that says a lot about you. So in closing, thanks for having the heart to do this, and I hope it continues. I'm sure it will continue under the new superintendent, and I'm sure the school board will continue to support the project. And once again, thanks for all you do. We live in a great city, and I'll just say on a personal note, me and my wife have been just elated how great this district has been for our daughter, who's now going to be a junior. Every school, every teacher has been wonderful. So I just want to thank you for giving her such a great experience. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. You guys have been a great committee. Makes it easy to do those things. So thanks for coming.
Can I get a motion and a second for approval of tonight's agenda, please?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The agenda is approved, sorry. I don't believe we had any conflicts of interest this evening. Can I get a motion and a second for approval of the consent agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. The consent agenda is approved. Can I get a motion and a second for approval of the supplemental consent agenda?
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The consent agenda is approved with one abstention from myself. And then we move on to the reports of the superintendent.
We have two things tonight on the list. The first one is one that's an exciting report to hear here at the end of the year as we close out the school year and hear what our students have been up to and the growth in the programs for both athletics and activities. So we'll have Shane Webben and Casey Miley tell us some of the highlights of the year.
Good evening. We know that participation in school activities, including fine arts and athletics, is really a vital component of a well-rounded education, fostering skills that extend beyond the classroom. Sioux Falls School District middle and high school students have access to a wide variety of athletic and fine arts activities. These activities include extracurricular and co-curricular activities, as well as activities and events sanctioned by the South Dakota High School Activities Association, and additional clubs and activities, so many. My colleague, Mr. Miley, will begin by highlighting some of our athletic opportunities that we have in our district currently.
Thank you, Mr. Webben, for leading us off. And to the members of the school board, thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. We are grateful to be here to share this report highlighting the success and impact of our activities program across the Sioux Falls School District. As we reflect on a very successful 24-25 school year, I want to begin by recognizing the incredible range of opportunities available for our students, opportunities that you, a school board, have worked hard to support and expand. At the middle school level, we offered 18 athletic team opportunities, 9 for girls, 7 for boys, and 2 co-ed, and saw 3,568 students participate, representing 66.8% of our total middle school enrollment. Thanks for your support in expanding middle school programs, including additions of girls wrestling, boys and girls soccer at the 8th grade level, and performance dance. We've been able to engage more students earlier and align opportunities with rising interest. These enhancements have led to increased participation, and while the growth is encouraging, there is still room for improvement. Continued focus and support in these areas will help ensure more students are connected through activities and better prepared for our high school programs. These efforts are not only making an impact now, but are laying a foundation for long-term success across the district. At the high school level, 3,603 students, just under 50% of our total high school enrollment, participated in athletics across 26 programs, including 14 for girls, 9 for boys, and 3 co-ed. The addition of both softball and girls powerlifting has notably expanded athletic opportunities for female students across our district. Both programs have seen strong early participation and competitive success. Girls powerlifting continues to grow and empower athletes across our schools, while this spring brought a major highlight for softball. For the first time since the sport was sanctioned, all 4 Sioux Falls schools qualified for the state tournament, 2 of which advanced to the championship game. That title game, held at Bowden Field on the campus of Augustana University, drew a standing room-only crowd and showcased the high level of talent in our programs. It was a standout moment for our students and a great reflection of the opportunities you continued to support and made possible. These participation numbers speak not only to the engagement of our students and the dedication of our coaches, but also to the strength of the opportunities this board continues to support. With the foundation in place, I'd like to highlight 4 key areas from the 24-25 school year that reflect the excellence and impact of student athletic programs. Amid a highly competitive year, Sioux Falls School District student athletes delivered outstanding performances at the highest levels of competition. We proudly celebrated 18 individual state champions and 7 team state titles, an impressive reflection of excellence across a broad range of athletic programs. These achievements speak not only to the talent and dedication of our students, but also the unwavering support of our coaches, staff, schools, and families who guide and inspire them every step of the way. Equally important, many programs that did not bring home state titles still delivered successful seasons, fostering connection, building character, and creating lasting, meaningful experiences that enrich the lives of our student athletes and strengthen our school communities. Adding to an already impressive year of accomplishments, 3 Sioux Falls student athletes were honored as Gatorade Players of the Year, recognizing excellence in athletic performance, academic achievement, and character. Cole Riley, Washington High School, boys cross country, Brady Stamp, Lincoln High School, boys soccer, and Madeline Mesher, Washington High School, softball, exemplify the very best of high school athletics. Their achievements place them among the nation's top student athletes and reflect the strength of the programs, coaching, and support systems within the Sioux Falls School District. Even more exciting, all 3 will return next year. Cole and Madeline as juniors and Brady as a senior, continuing to lead by example in their schools and their sports. Each year, the Sioux Falls School District proudly hosts some of South Dakota's most premier athletic events, both at our high schools and at Howard Wood Field. This year marked an especially historic occasion with the 100th running of the Howard Wood Dakota Relays, an event that stands as one of the most storied and impactful traditions in South Dakota high school athletics. With 3,000 athletes, 6,000 entries, and 200 teams across the region, the milestone was more than a meet. It was a celebration of tradition, excellence, and community impact. Few events in our state histories have left such a lasting legacy on students, families, and schools. As U.S. Senate Majority Leader John Thune said in his remarks from the Senate floor, it's more than a track meet. It's one of the hallmarks of sports in South Dakota, a thrilling 2 days where the best compete against the best. The success of this meet is based on a small town, South Dakota, and the Dakota Relays represents what I love about our state, our people, our values, and our communities. From Olympians and record-setting relays to generations of families competing, coaching, and volunteering, the Howard Wood Dakota Relays exemplifies the transformative power of student athletics. It is an event rooted in vision of Coach Howard Wood to shape youth, to build character, and to teach life through sport. The legacy continues to thrive today, and we are very proud to carry it forward in the Sioux Falls School District. Last and certainly not least, we proudly recognize Grace Peterson, a senior at Washington High School who was honored as the 2025 Class AA Spirit of Sioux recipient, an award presented to a standout senior who exemplifies excellence in athletic ability, leadership, character, sportsmanship, and academics. A National Honor Society member and academic all-state honoree, Grace has made a lasting impact both in the classroom and in competition. She will continue her academic and athletic career at the University of South Dakota, where she plans to major in education and compete in women's basketball. Side note, looks like a future educator and coach in the Sioux Falls schools. Grace is a shining example of the academic achievement and all-around excellence found across the Sioux Falls School District. Her recognition is a powerful reflection of the values we aim to instill through our student activities: excellence, integrity, and service to others. In wrapping up the athletics portion of the report, I hope I have been able to clearly highlight the meaningful role athletics plays in the lives of our students and the strength of our programs you help to support. Thank you again for your continued commitment. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Mr. Webben to present the work happening across our fine arts programs.
In fine arts, we are in this world of extracurricular, co-curricular, and curricular as well. And our students move between those where they are able to participate in a curricular course that has some co-curricular aspects, and then we have parts of that are extracurricular. So you'll see a mesh of that as I talk about our fine arts programming. At the middle school, we had over 3,500 students participate in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade visual arts classes. And then when we look at music participation, I only looked at those kids who are in band, choir, and orchestra, and you see that we have just over 50% participating in those. Now that doesn't include kids who are electing to take a drama course or a speech course, a theater production course, a music production course, a general music course, or guitar course, or participating in jazz band, orchestra ensemble, electric strings. It continues to go on and on with all the opportunities that our middle schoolers have, but we really are trying to provide experiences for students. What's been a unique change for our middle schools is that the visual art component is becoming more and more of an elective opportunity for students, and yet we're still seeing the number continue to be at 65% of our students are in visual arts, which is just fantastic to see that when given the opportunity to choose to participate in the fine arts, they are. In the high school, we looked at the courses that are, again, those curricular courses, band, choir, and orchestra. We now look at guitar, and then our visual arts courses. We see that as the years go, students are choosing different opportunities, different electives, and so to compare from year to year, we want to look at those that each school is offering. But we do continue to offer dance, debate, oral interp, journalism classes, and depending on the school and the interest at that time and the staffing, we make sure that we have those courses available, but those do fluctuate. You see that in our music curricular courses and our art courses, we have just at over 60% of students participating. That's students participating in at least one of those. So there are no duplicate students here. If you're in band and choir, you're only counted once, which I think is pretty unique or great number that we have. And then when we look at the South Dakota High School Activities Association, we have many opportunities for our students. We'd consider those to be those extracurricular offerings, and we have just over 3,200 students participating in those. Those would be your all-state events, your solo contest, journalism submissions, those speech and debate. Those are some of the things that would be included in the High School Activities Association. I want to take a moment to, again, highlight and show our appreciation for Pepper Entertainment, who came forward and helped us begin our guitar program. Since its inception in 2022, we've had 546 students participate. And Pepper has continued to support the program, now helping us provide equipment and supplies for our middle school guitar courses. So when we're still seeing that every year we have this interest for kids who want to try something, many of whom who have never played before. If you've not had the opportunity to hear our guitar classes, when you hear them at their end of the semester recital, I don't know how they do what they do. They play in 3- and 4-part harmony. They're playing chords, they're playing melodies, they're accompanying each other. It's quite spectacular, and it is all thanks to Pepper Entertainment for making that a reality for our district, and a really great opportunity for students who are not interested in an ensemble or maybe visual arts, but this is a great way for them to get hooked into the fine arts as well. We have a lot to celebrate, many items you've heard throughout the year from me. I want to just highlight that we had in our all-state music events, 80 chorus students, 63 band students, 43 orchestra students, 23 jazz band students, and 11 show choir students. If you look, the list of Sioux Falls students at our all-state music events is always number one. But at our middle school as well, many people don't know that our music education, our professional organization sponsors middle school all-state events. We have middle school all-state orchestra. We had 20 students selected for state junior honor choir, 12 students played in the middle school all-state jazz band, and 41 students played in the all-state band. 33 students from the 4 high schools just completed in Des Moines at the National Speech and Debate Association. And 24 competed at our state tournament. I'll give you an update because this is just hot off the press. Jefferson did quite well this past week in Des Moines. In public forum, they had a student who went through round 11, which I believe is out of 13. They had a round 6 completer as well. In duo, oral interp, they had through round 8, original oratory through round 10. 2 students in program oral interp made it through round 8. A Lincoln Douglas student made it through round 6, and a student in poetry through round 3. Those are pretty accomplished students, and really spectacular to see those students making that far competing against their peers. At our state band conference this year, we were very lucky to feature 2 outstanding ensembles, Roosevelt Symphonic Band and our Whittier Winds, which is an ensemble at Whittier where students meet before after school. It was just a truly wonderful experience. Students announced each of their selections in their own home language, which was a very moving experience to hear kids talk about why they enjoyed a song in their own language in front of a room full of all of our music colleagues. It was really a true, wonderful experience for our students and for our teachers as well. These things wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our great teachers and directors, and I do have to brag that our fine arts department had 10 teachers nominated for the Teacher of the Year, and 1 teacher was a finalist as well. It's definitely a community that supports activities, including music, and I am pleased to announce again that we, for the third year in a row, have been named a Best Community for Music Education, which is through the National Association of Music Merchants. I encourage you to look at the written board report and look over that really an impressive list of additional athletic and fine arts accomplishments. You won't be amazed because our kids do really wonderful things. So I hope that you're not amazed at quite the list that you will see. But you know, we don't come to school. Well, I should say there are a lot of kids who come to school because of activities, but we want them here because they need to learn. And that is our goal of our school system, is to help students learn. The South Dakota High School Activities Association has the Academic Achievement Team Award, which recognizes varsity athletic teams, fine arts groups, and student organizations that excel in both competition and in the classroom. To qualify, a team must maintain a combined cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher during the season of competition. This award celebrates the commitment of student participants to balancing academics and extracurricular involvement, reflecting positively on the schools, the coaches, and our programs across the state. We have a lot to be proud of here. At Jefferson High School, 22 athletic teams received the Academic Achievement Award and 18 fine arts teams. At Lincoln High School, 21 athletic teams and 18 fine arts teams. At Roosevelt High School, 18 athletic teams and 12 fine arts teams. And at Washington High School, we had 21 athletic teams and 10 fine arts teams qualify for the Academic Achievement Award. This is something that we should celebrate our players and performers on and off the court and the stage. At this time, we would ask you to acknowledge the participation summary, and we will stand by for any questions you may have.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, Ms. Dorman, I hope that you are already preparing that future contract for Grace Peterson to teach and coach in the Sioux Falls School District. Now, that'd be wonderful to bring her back to the home district. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for bringing this to our attention. You know, this whole meeting tonight has just shown the depth of this district and what we do for kids and what kids can accomplish. And with the support of the parents and the community, we have a fine school district here. So I want to thank you for bringing that forward. I want to thank everybody who works with these kids all year long. And I want to thank the kids themselves for putting it out there, because as someone who, when I taught, was always in extracurriculars, you know, it's true. Some of the kids come to school so they can participate in those things, and we know that. But once we get them hooked in that team, that group, that club, then we've got them. And then they start getting involved in school and doing well. And so thank you very much. This is a wonderful report. It just shows what the school district offers, what the parents support, and what our fine staff can do. Thank you.
At one time, I coached for a while and taught, but what athletics and any extracurricular activities, fine arts, does for kids always amazed me. Because once you pull them in, it's like a big fish. It's great. And once you keep them, it's really wonderful. The Department of Defense spent many years ago now, I can't remember because I'm getting that old, they did a study on what is the greatest indicator of success in life. Number one, and not just limited to school activities, but things like scouts. Any kids that participated in activities, they considered to have a better chance for long-time, lifetime success. So you might say I'm a devout believer in extracurricular activities, and I am. And I think it's wonderful that we can offer as many things as we do. And I appreciate you fellas. Good job.
I think this report is too big not to say something. My daughter participated in orchestra the last couple years, and she was new to her school, and that was how she made friends. And so as a parent, it seemed like something so simple, just try something. and she ended up making really incredible, good quality friendships in her orchestra group. And I'm so thankful for that because I grew up in a small town. I don't think I saw a violin until I moved to Sioux Falls. So I'm really fortunate to have these sort of programming, and I'm really hopeful, you guys, that she does sports because I'm a sports gal, but she might stick with her strings. But I'm still so thankful and grateful to have young people be able to participate in this. And then personally, as a parent, thank you guys both for what you do to support children and families in this way.
You might not have these numbers in front of you, but how do we compare nationally? We've got some great percentages of kids that are involved, and how does that rank nationally?
I couldn't tell you where we rank nationally. I would say we are very solid. I used to think when I had moved into administration, if a school has 20 to 30% of their kids involved in fine arts, that, you know, we're doing really good things. That's a really great number. Well, we've surpassed that by a lot. And so we are very lucky in our district to have resources to be able to provide these opportunities. And I think that that's one of the keys to how we have kids in activities is we make them available to students because we do have schools. It's very common, especially across our state, that don't have access to a professional visual arts educator. And that really makes a difference because visual arts educators talk about art in a different way that really can engage kids. So even right there, we are leaps above other districts in our own state with regards to having certified art teachers available.
Athletically on the national level, we're fortunate. There's a lot of states that are going more to the club scene where the kids aren't participating. So we're still very fortunate in Sioux Falls that we have the support of a board like you and our administration that's in this room that are providing the opportunities that our kids have and that our kids are being involved in those. And it's still important to be a Rough Rider, a Patriot, a Cavalier, and a Warrior. So
I think that's an important point, that any child that wants to participate, whether it's the fine arts or sports, has the ability to do that in our district, of and including weight training that they can do before or after school. We also have OTs that are there on the field if the student should get hurt, and the list goes on. And we just have some of the top quality facilities to make that happen. So I'm glad to make that recognized for what we do and for what you all help to provide.
you brought up a good point. Our partnerships with Orthopedic Institute, Sanford, and Avera give our kids opportunities that other school districts in the state and in the nation do not have. So we are very thankful for those partnerships. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Our community supports our kids.
One last thing. Did I see something about a new website? Do you want to put a plug in? Is there like a...
Well, with the transition for the South Dakota High School Activities Association going to Bound, we are making that full transition this year where both our athletics and fine arts, we're moving fully away from our school. So we've been working with Deanne and her team in community relations to get that on the facility side, and we feel like we're at that point right now. So all of our schedules, fine arts and athletics, will be on the Bound website. So that's a great point.
Because even if you don't have a student that's performing or participating, we always welcome our community to come in.
Prom will be on there, everything.
Yeah, see the talent that we have, so awesome. Thank you both very much.
I got one more.
Oh, and the activity.
I know it's unusual, but I do have one. I don't want this to be interpreted as we are tied to extracurricular activities, because the most important thing we do is teach. And directors, coaches, they're teachers. So their first job is to be a teacher and an educator, and that's the mission of our school. And fortunately, we're allowed to have these other things that augment education. So I think we're lucky, and I'm proud of it. Thank you.
Can I just piggyback on that? I'm sorry, why not? Let's stay till 8. I think that's a great point, Mark, and I think it's worthy of pointing out too that this district has continued to prioritize as much as possible that they hire teachers who are able to coach. which means most of our coaches and fine arts sponsors are with kids all day long, and so they know our students, and that's not always possible, but that's been a priority. It's getting more and more difficult to do, and many places don't even care about that anymore, but I think that's been a really special part of this district.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much, guys. Can I get a motion and a second to acknowledge the 24-25 athletics and fine arts participation
So moved.
summary update?
Second.
Oh, it's getting late.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That is approved.
All right, second item on the reports of the superintendent is regarding our opt-out resolution. So Mr. Veek will review the information with the board. We also cover this during the board work session in planning for future years. And so now this is the actual motion to move forward with the process of doing the opt-out.
Thank you. Yeah, in 2002, the school board passed its first opt-out. It was for 5 years. And at the end of that 5-year period, we brought together a group of CFOs and other fiscal related jobs such as auditors from businesses in the school district with the help of the Chamber of Commerce, who facilitated that for us. That was in 2006, I think. And then since then, as opt-outs have expired or have been expiring, we've brought together parts of that group, maybe not as big as the first one. And the last time we did that was in 2019. And this was the group at that time who were involved. These are either a member of the chamber, or there's an auditor on there, there's a CFO, became CEO, and there's another CFO, a couple of other CFOs. So this is the group we brought together and looked at an expiring opt-out that was coming due for the school district and wanted their recommendation. So this was the conclusions that the group came up with. The opt-out is a critical component of the school district budget. Opt-out funds current programming and also provides some risk mitigation in case increases aren't what you would hope they would be. The district fund balance was at its lowest point in 25 years at that time. The district has been fiscally conservative and only uses the portion of the opt-out that is critical to the needs. And they set a 10-year target, this is the key, a 10-year target of about 15 million, and that's in 2019 dollars, in opt-out capacity is reasonable to maintain the opt-out. Use it at a constant 5.2% of the budget, and while also maintaining a 2% contingency for the district. That's in case that the funding isn't what we would hope it to be. So that's what they recommended at that time, or that's the conclusions. Other conclusions were that a 10-year target amount of 15 million, once again in 2019 dollars, is reasonable to maintain the opt-out and used at a constant 5.2% of the budget. An opt-out, and this was kind of the new part, an opt-out laddering approach that adjusts for inflation. And what that is you opt out for smaller amounts every year and you inflate those a little bit each year, rather than doing a 5 or a 10-year opt-out, and then every 5 or 10 years you have to see if your funding is going to get wiped out, if an opt-out would fail in one of those years. So they recommended the laddering approach. And based on those recommendations and findings, the school district has done the following. We continue to utilize the $5 million opt-out that was originally passed in 2017 until it expires at the end of 2027. We do an annual opt-out from 2020 through 2024, starting at 1.5 million per year and increasing by 100,000 each year to $2 million for taxes payable in 2025. For 2025, the current opt-out total is $15.5 million, while the current opt-out levy is $11.5 million. So we're not using the opt-out, the rest of that's there for a contingency. The recommendation for the 26 budget to carry on what was brought to us in 2019, to carry that on. We're recommending to continue to follow the recommendations of the Finance Action Network. This year, we would grow that opt-out again a little bit, opt-out for $2.1 million, beginning with taxes payable in 2026 and continuing through 2035, so it'd be a 10-year opt-out. And as part of the budget process, levy $12 million for taxes payable in 2026. We already brought that as part of the budget. That was part of the budget that was passed by the board on a contingency, not a tentative budget, I should say. And then this is something we looked at. We looked at it when we did that. So how's this opt-out affecting our tax rate? Well, we've got 10 neighbors, so 11 counting us. And for owner-occupied property, we rank 10th of our 11 neighbors. One thing we've added on here, it used to be on and it fell off, we put it back on here. A lot of people believe that we have a ton of valuation. So of course our levies should be lower. Well, out of 150 school districts, we're 120th in value per student. And the rest of our neighbors aren't very high either. But we're kind of in the bottom of that pack, but I think the lowest is 80 and the highest is 142. So we're all kind of grouped in there. So there isn't, while there's a lot of valuation, there's a lot of students here and in our neighboring districts. So we rank second. We have the second lowest levy between us and all our neighbors. So the administrative recommendation is to approve the resolution you have in front of you. I would stand by for questions or just wait. Thanks.
Okay. So the governing board of the Sioux Falls School District 49-5 do state that the above said board is unable to operate under the tax limitation measure currently in statute in the general fund. We therefore opt out of such tax limitation in the amount of $2.1 million, starting with taxes payable in the calendar year of 2026. This opt-out will be for 10 years, which will be through taxes payable in calendar year 2035. This action has been taken by the board and approved by at least 2/3 vote of the board. This decision may be referred to a vote by the people upon a petition signed by at least 5% of the registered voters in the district and filed with the governing body within 20 days of the first publication of this decision. Unless this action is referred to a vote of the people and reversed by such vote, this resolution authorizes the county auditors to spread an excess levy to raise tax dollars in the above stated amount. So can I get a motion and a second for approval of the resolution, please?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. That resolution is adopted. Thank you.
Thanks.
Before I adjourn for my last time, I just wanted to share a few words. So if we go back to the beginning of how I got here, there's a very important lesson both in education and in life. Never once did the words, I want to be a school board member, leave my mouth or even cross my mind. I had 2 kids, was active in their school, and had recently graduated from nursing school. But then something happened. I got a phone call and then another phone call, which led to a meeting, which led to yard signs, campaigning, and then 12 years of service to the Sioux Falls School District. But it all started when someone reached out to me and said, I see your potential. You can do this and I will help. This happens every day in our schools. Teachers, lunch workers, principals, custodians, and other staff see something in a student that they may not yet see in themselves. It's the people in our lives from a variety of circles that help us see ourselves through a different lens and give us the confidence and courage to try new things. 12 years ago is my youngest daughter's end of kindergarten, and just last month, I had the honor of handing her class and her classmates their high school diplomas. And what happened within those 12 years, I am extremely grateful for. I've learned about policy development, managing large budgets, Robert's Rules of Order, strategic planning, building new schools, creating new school boundaries, property taxes, assessments, open enrollment, Title IX, 504 plans, and the importance of the Pledge of Allegiance, and so much more. But more importantly, I have learned the importance of commitment, showing up every meeting prepared to do the work, to engage in conversation at meetings, valuing each and every presenter who has stood at the podium to share good news, give a report or presentation, and even those who have come to offer constructive criticism. I've also learned the importance of communication, especially listening for understanding. There are 3 sides to every story: the way I saw it, the way you saw it, and what really happened. Being humble enough to consider the differences between the 3. I've had so many mentors, too many to name. I was going through my district email and it was like a walk down memory lane, like revisiting people who have retired, reminding myself of the many challenges that our district has faced and overcome, and so many people who have been patient with me, explained something again, or even sent a quick note of encouragement. I'm so grateful for the time that we were able to work together and learn from each other. I'd like to give a special thank you to some of my members of my family, to my husband, who's been so supportive of the time that I've spent at meetings and other events, for picking up the slack at home, to my daughters, Reagan and Cameron, who went through most of their K-12 life with their mom as a board member. It doesn't have as many perks as you think it does. I love how even though the answer was always the same for all 12 years, they continued to ask me what the chances of having a snow day were. And to my parents, who have been nothing but supportive my whole life, sometimes I get a crazy idea, and instead of saying, "Are you sure you want to do that?" they instead say, "What can we do to help?" They proudly wore t-shirts and campaign buttons. They wanted to wear them tonight, and I said, sent letters to their friends, whatever they could think of to get me elected the first time. And I'm forever grateful, not just for their time and effort that they gave to me, but also for believing in me. So thank you to everybody. I will always be public school proud. With that, can I get a motion and a second to adjourn?
No.
No.
No. Thank you, Carly. As a newbie on the block, you helped me make the transition to the board table again, but just in a different chair. So thank you very much for your leadership and everything you've given the district.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
Carly, I would like to thank you and the board that hired me. I believe you're one of 2 standing from that original group. Your service is commendable, that amount of time that you've committed. And there has been no time during my tenure when I didn't have a strong board president. And the health of a school district is directly connected to the health of a school board. And without that legacy, our school district would not be celebrating all of the many things that we celebrated just tonight alone, much less the things that we've heard throughout the school year. And so thank you for being a model for what it is to commit to public service. And thank you for hiring me. And thank you for being a great mentor to me, for challenging me, for encouraging me, for laughing with me, and for all of the ways that you've served during my tenure and long before.
And we have something for you, but we're going to give it to you a little later.
Okay, thank you.
You and your husband.
Oh, great. All right, can I get a motion and a second for adjournment, please?
Oh, sure. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.